Happy 100th birthday, America. At least that's what people were celebrating when this book was written. This is an original first printing of a popular history of the United States of America from the Aboriginal Times to present day in 1876. And since we're celebrating our 250th this month, I thought it'd be fun to look and see what people were learning about the United States 150 years ago. I found some things that I don't remember learning in school. Let's see if you remember any of them. The first thing that shocked me was the book describes Native American nations with governments, laws, trade routes, and cities that rivaled many in Europe. I grew up hearing about tribes. I don't remember ever learning about cities. Then it gets even crazier. This 150-year-old book doesn't give Columbus the opening discovery chapter. It gives it to the Vikings. Leif Erikson reached North America around 1,500 years before Columbus. And then Europe forgot. And another thing I learned, Native Americans weren't just passing stories down by word of mouth. This book actually illustrates systems of symbolic writing and record keeping. Check out this Indian writing. It describes 8 soldiers with muskets commanded by a captain and accompanied by a secretary, a geologist, 3 attendants, and 2 Indian guides encamped here. They had 3 campfires and ate a turtle and a prairie hen for supper. How cool is that? I had to read this twice. A few hundred Spaniards walked into one of the largest cities in the world, surrounded by tens of thousands of people, and somehow they left with the emperor as their hostage. I can't even imagine what that would have looked like. I don't know why this wasn't in Pocahontas. Captain John Smith, that captain, was exploring the Chesapeake Bay when he was stung by a stingray. He became so sick his crew dug his grave and prepared to bury him. Then he got better. Can you imagine finding out your friends already dug your grave? And here's something the history books don't always make you feel. Some of the earliest English settlements survived because Native Americans chose to help them. Without those alliances, American history could have looked completely different. And I'd never heard of King Philip's War, yet this book describes entire towns being destroyed, families fleeing into the wilderness, and people wondering if New England would survive at all. Imagine living through that, thinking America might end before it had even begun. George Washington actually predicted one of Britain's worst defeats. He warned General Braddock that they were walking into an ambush. Braddock ignored him, and minutes later, the British army was nearly destroyed. And during the battle, 2 horses were shot out from under Washington. 4 bullets passed through his coat, and somehow he wasn't hit. Native Americans that were at the battle said he must have been protected by the Great Spirit. Thousands of French settlers, known as Acadians, were forced from their homes. Families were separated, homes abandoned. Many never saw each other again. And this wasn't just a map changing hands. It was people being erased from the place they called home. And here's the part I can't stop thinking about. When this book was printed, America was only 100 years old. The Civil War had ended just 11 years earlier. Many people reading these pages had lived through Lincoln's presidency, the Civil War, and now 150 years later, this book is still telling America's story. For 150 years, this book has been preserving American history, and now it's your turn. Comment a fascinating fact from any era covered in this book for your entry to rescue this relic. From our vault to your bookshelf, every comment is an entry to win, and we'll be picking a random winner at the end of July. Happy 250th birthday, America.